Okay, welcome to another review. This is another one from Trackside Models out of my stash collection up on the shelf. Ignore the price, I'm not 100% sure how long I've had this one up on the shelf for. But they still make it. You can go to their website to have a look, and the pricing has probably gone up if I've had it for over the last 12 months, which is highly likely. Alright, let's get to the unboxing. Alright, let's have a look here. Okay, so what we've got is obviously, once again, laser cut sprues, the window surrounds, door surrounds, it's in that one. The glazing, which is plastic with a paper backing, which fits the windows, which so it comes with all the glazing, all their kits do. What have we got here? Okay, we've got some trusses and some crosses. Obviously, if you don't want it to be a Catholic or whatever church, you don't have to use them. Got some walls. You can see the windows are already cut out in design, as well as the doors, so that's all etched in. Windows are cut through. We have the side walls. The roofs, again, all nicely etched, so it makes weathering a dream. And lastly, the instructions. So I'll have a quick look at them, and pretty self-explanatory. The instructions are normally pretty good. So alright, let's get into the assembly. Okay, let's get started. So what we need is sprues A, B, C and D. So we've got A, B, let's see how easy they pop out. Nice and easy, that one. And nice and easy, that one. Okay, and now we need C and D, which is the front and the back of the church. Once again, let's see how easy they pop out. Oh, like butter, look at that. Okay, so I suppose the only decision you've got to make is that's the front of the church, the front doors. That's the side entrance, which is these side pieces here, which go into there. So it's whether or not you want it left or right-handed. For this purposes, I don't really matter which side I do it. So they slot in nice and easy, as you can see. It's all nice and toothed, so you can just pop them together. So I suppose we'll put some glue on it. Let's try something a little bit sneaky. Alright, let's put the back. And the front together. Let's, with our trusty toothpick, I'll just run it straight down there. Hopefully that will then work, so when I lift it up and put them together, right, sweet. Okay, I'll let that set for 5 minutes and then I will pump them together. Then obviously the trusses here slot into these 3 ready cut out positions. Yep, alright, let it dry and come back and connect it together. Okay, let's glue it together. It hasn't been quite 5 minutes yet. I will have to get myself some, like I said in the last one, some quick drying PVA glue. But let's just throw some glue into these areas here. Get this main body together. Oops, making a mess, but that's alright. These kits go together quite well actually. They have been designed for locking into place with each other, which is always good. Actually, I don't think I've ever had to even sand any of these kits, which I probably should have, just to give them a bit of a better finish, I suppose. But I've never had to sand any of them to make them go together to you know, just snap together or anything like that. So. Alright, so that's the main walls together, and then obviously we've got the side walls to put in there. I could probably put them in there now while it's drying. So we've got G and I, which is these two. See how they pop out. Oh, it's a bit tighter, bit of a wiggle. Sweet. Got to find a different word than sweet. I think it's one I always go to. But, oops. All right. So these look at that, like a glove. Cool. Alright, I'll glue them in place. So obviously they're the little trusses. So there's the 3 trusses here for up there, the little truss for here, and these little end pieces to trim it off when you finish it. So alright, let's glue these in place so then we can wait for it all to dry together. Like I said, it's not the quick setting PVA glue, but once it sets it won't go anywhere. Alright. Make sure that that slot there, which is for the truss at the back, is against the building. Sloppy. That sweet. Sweet again. I suppose the beauty about this, what I'm showing you here, is it's all in real time too, so you can see how quick they go together. I mean, if you want to take it slow and detail it as you go, which is what I will do with some of the better kit, or not the better kits, but the bigger kits that I've got an idea for. I've got like a Tanunda station, which is fairly not complicated but intensive kit. A Queenslander, which is a big house on stilts to do. So here we got the end piece, which is the side entry door. Once again, let's see how this pops out. This one's just working like a charm. Alright. Alright, so that will just slot onto there. I'll put some glue on this. So when this ends up getting onto a diorama, I'll probably, well obviously I'll have lights and everything in it, but I'm thinking about printing up some stained glass windows on the printer, just the print on plastic, just to give it a bit of authenticity. That's a big word. So just a little bit on that side and that side. Alright, let's plug this together and see how it goes. You know, for someone whose hands don't work half the time, these are actually a joy to put together. The other thing too is when I'm squaring this up, you know, I'm not using a square or anything, but I've got this cutting board which has obviously got squares and everything on it, so if I line it up and as close as possible, it's not too bad to get it square. Alright, we'll let that set and then I'll show you how that comes together. Normally I would just power into it and then I'd spend half the time putting it back together, but what I might do is just pop these trusses out ready. Big ones here, and see how they pop out. Once again, look at that, easy as. So that's those three for there, and that's the small one from there. And they just slot in. See how they've got little notches in them as well to make it all easy. They've thought about these kits. You know, that's yeah, I'll let that set. But that's the next stage, next step. Okay, 5 minutes and we'll get back into it. Okay, let's get back into this. Alright, so we've got these three trusses to put in here. The centre here's a bit springy, so I might just have to hold that back slightly while the glue goes off. But as you can see, these all with these little lugs and the notches here go together quite nicely. Alright, so what I might do is glue these three down here, and then I'll just put a bit of tape in between them just to hold them in place. And then the kit's pretty well there. I mean, you've just got the roof sheets to put on, and the surrounds around the windows and doors, the glazing inside, and just not going to take long to do. Normally I would leave the surrounds off and the roof and everything off at the minute and do my painting on the external, but I'll put this together and just paint it freehand. Alright, let's just have a look, see here. Yeah, definitely got a bit of a spring in the middle, which is fine. Just means to pull it all in together before the roof goes on, because hopefully then it's going to fit nice and snug on the roof. If I had quick setting glue, I could probably just sit here for a minute and hold it, but I don't, so I'll do the old trusty tape into position. Which is all it needs. Okay, cool. Put this little one in here in. My fingers are going to work. Sorry, I just need to pull around so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, sweet. The trusses are in place. Alright, so I suppose if I could pop the roofs off, the roof sheets off. And then obviously we have all the surrounds. So we've got 7 of those, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the small ones for the ends. And then these guys go around the 2 doors. Just gives it that 3D push out and your effect. So which comes up quite well. Alright, so there's your butter roof. Look at it, it just pops out. Sweet as. Like I said, there's lots of thoughts gone into how these kits go together. I think Trackside Models, the couple that own the company, have been involved with model railway for a long time and know exactly what they want, and they're always improving their product as they go along. So these just will go on like that. Alright, I'll let those trusses pull together, and then I will might have to see how that all sits together. Alright, I'll let that dry and we'll be back again in another 5 minutes. Cheers. Okay, so the next step, I was going to put the roofs on, but I might put the surrounds on first. Thinking about it, because I might have to tie the roof down on the ends. So no, let's do the roof. No, let's do this. Alright, let's do the surrounds. Alright, so let's pop out these surrounds. Let's see how they pop out. These are a bit more flimsy, but I suppose if rather than force these, I'm going to cut these just to help them on their way, mainly because I don't want to really snap them. I mean, they'll glue back together relatively easily, but you know, just for the sake of it, we'll just pop them out. Looks like they're only connected by a couple lugs on each side. Like I said, they don't go overboard, but they put enough detail into how these kits go together, that makes it easier on the end user. Obviously you'll get the odd one that might not cut exactly 100% through. I'm talking about the lugs, not the actual finished product, which might take a little bit more forcing, but it's just the nature of the beast. But overall, so far, all the kits that I've done, and I'll show you, I'll do another video later down the track, the dioramas I've already done and how I do them, because they interact with the model railway club that I'm in. They're using them at the moment at a show, so I design them so they can fit into like a interchangeable module, which works well for the sharing them on the club layout as well as my own when I get around to it. Alright. You can hear it, I suppose, where these lugs are. Alright, let's have a look at one of these. So these go on their bigger windows, obviously, and they just basically glue over there like that. So just gives it that added appeal. So what I might do is just keep going with this lot and glue them in place. What I might do is I'll just glue one of these in place at the minute, and then we'll jump forward. You don't want to sit here and watch me do every single one of these. We'll just put some glue on them. Normally what I would do is I'd paint the walls up, and then I would paint these up, then glue them over the top, and then just touch them up. But yeah, just glued in place. There you go. So what I'll do is I will do the rest of these, and then I'll come back and show you the end product before we put the roof on. No worries. Cheers. Okay, so I've put all the surrounds around the windows and the doors and the barges up the top. So let's have a look, see how these roof sheets sit now. Right, so the small roof, two sides to that, and glue that in place. I'll be fairly liberal with this glue. I want it to actually grab the sheets. Oops. Alright. In place. Just got to make sure that the overhang is even on both sides. There is a little gap on all of these roofs and all these type of kits through here. Now you can either fill that up with glue. I've got a little thing I do with a ridge cap that I come up with on these things, which covers that nicely, which I will show you when I do a diorama or when I paint this up. But at this stage it looks as close as I'm going to get it. So that went on quite neat, evenly. Go up a little bit more. Like I said, I will cover that up as long as it looks even on the face of it. There. You can see that. Alright, let's have a look at the next ones. Alright, let's put some, oops, that was the last piece I glued on. it's just popped off. It's alright. Doing this back to front makes it a little bit harder, but glue both sides of it so I can fit both of the, and the cat's decided to join me. So just alright, let's keep putting some glue on this. I'll do both sides so I can adjust the roof to centres and ends and overhangs, all that sort of stuff. Hopefully I won't have to tape it down too much. Probably always a good idea to put a bit of tape on it. There's too much glue on that, just to hold it in place while it goes off. This bit here, it's pretty much not going to take. Just hope a little bit of the glue will actually grab. Primarily the gable ends and these trusses is where it's all going to join. Alright, let's see how this fits. So put the first one on. Those dark marks you can see on the roof is just a bit of water I sprayed on them to get them into position, put some weights on them. Alright. Okay, I'm going to have to put some tape on them. Oh, excuse me. Where's my ruler? Okay. So just the blue painter's tape, I'm just going to cut some strips basically so it's like strapping. Alright, let's see if we put those two. Oops. It's probably the fiddliest part about this is the actual roof. overhangs. That's the beauty about the roof, is you can always go inside underneath and add glue to areas if you're worried about it not bonding sufficiently. Which I will do by the looks of it, just to give it that additional support so it doesn't just pop off down the track when things get a bit weaker. Right. Quick look to see how it's all looking. Looks pretty even to me, but my eyesight's like my hands, getting bad. Alright, so what I'll do now is I will just let this set, come back and show you the end result. I don't think I'm not going to put the glazing in. The glazing's pretty simple. It's each one of these is cut. Same deal with the little lug tip off. You just put some glazing glue or just even PVA glue on the back. I normally put it on the wall, and then I put this on the internal of the wall. Don't try to glue around that because you're just going to end up smudging it. And as you can see, paper just peels off. So protective coat comes off really easy. Glazing's a piece of cake on these kits. So alright, I'll come back and show you the end result. But a bit of a heads up, what I normally do with the ridge capping is I'll cut a bit of aluminium foil or aluminum foil depending on where you are, and cut it into little strips, put some glue along there, put the aluminium foil on there, and then just bend it down like a ridge cap. It comes up a treat. Paint's easy as well. Alright, I'll let that go off and we'll come back and show you the end result. Cheers. Okay, so that's pretty much it together at the moment. It's come up quite nice and neat. I'm just going to put, like I said, a bit of a bridge cap along that top before I install the crosses. So I just cut a slither of aluminium foil, and then what I will do is just put a bit of glue along this ridge. It fills up that hole or that join. And then I put the shiny side down. So just the shiny side down, and I just drape that off across the top. Get it positioned on one side. Just gotta be careful because this is pretty flimsy stuff, but once it goes on, it goes on pretty well. So once I get it centered, I just basically fold it down like that. It just finishes the top off. Although not part of the kit, everyone's got aluminium foil in their cupboard somewhere. Once that's sprayed, you won't know the difference. And then when that goes off, I just fold them ends down, cut that off, fold them ends down around the edge, and yeah, just finishes it. To me, it just finishes the kit off perfectly. if anything, if you keep over playing with it, you'll end up stuffing something up. So, all right, and then after that, then I've just got to install the crosses, and as I said, I'm not going to be putting any glazing in this one just yet because I'm going to put some stained glass stuff in it later. But yeah, so that's it. I will do the reveal in a minute. Thank you. Alright, so that's it. Basically it's completed, just time to detail it. That'll be for a video down the track for a diorama. But overall, kit went together really easily, quite nicely, snug fits. Quite happy with the little church. So it's the Trackside Models HO scale country church. Visit their website www.tracksidemodels.com.au. Have a look at their full range. I do believe they also have this in N scale. So go down there, have a look, and go from there. See you on the next one.